Welcome back to Views with Hughes and Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and today we got Steele and Gina Carano talking together. So go ahead and get right into it. So we all know with Gina Carano and everything, she's talking with she's someone who's been fired by Disney, and she talked with, guess what? Someone else who's been fired by Disney, which is Steele. You remember the former ESPN host and everything, and the reporter and all of that. Steele and Gina Carano both joined together to talk about Disney as well as another range of topics as well. Okay, and basically they joined together where they started talking about the societal pressure and stuff with Gina Carano and the intense backlash that she faced for her opinions on then Twitter, which is now X. Okay, liking her experience to being targeted by a mob. Okay. And she also reflected on the personal impact of her public cancellation and how it felt for her character to be attacked. Okay. And then they also started talking about, how the moment, like also where she shared details about the challenges she's faced in, Los Angeles, including invasive paparazzi, so on and so forth. But the kicker is they started talking about how they, the importance of Gina Carano and Steele, how they talked about the importance of real honest people in their lives and stuff rather than yes people. And then also the biggest one of all, they started talking about Disney. Okay, so I got the video pulled up right here, so let's go ahead and jump right into that.
Yes, but they're not.
It's so short-sighted.
They're not going to do that. They're gonna give me hell, and I know that.
Well, that's because they've been able to get away with that forever.
Yeah.
And they're not used to people taking a stand.
Yeah.
I, too, would love to have Bob Iger on this couch right next to us. And we could just take...
Okay, so this is where I forgot to mention, they started talking about the legal fight that Gina Carano has with Disney and stuff. She started answering questions about, the legal fight and stuff where I just heard it right there. She says that they're going to give her hell. So she's going to go ahead and prepare for that, too.
And by the way, this isn't that.
Yeah.
It's like, let's do the crazy wild thing and have a conversation.
Yes.
Especially because I assume you've met him.
No.
No?
I've actually just been in at an event.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as a man who is not smart. He seems very intelligent.
Very smart.
He seems, you almost really like him because of the way he communicates. But what you can't like is what he's allowed happen to so many people in the last 4 years that I know of. That's when I started paying attention.
Right.
And, he wasn't a part of the Bob Chapek thing, but then they brought him back. And so it's like, I know they're trying to correct with Bob Iger, but it's just corrected then. They're like the professionals. They tell everybody exactly how to apologize. Like, they should know how by now. And maybe set the example.
Yeah. There's a lot of layers there. And I'll say this, and this is maybe for something off camera. I don't know. But I started at ESPN in 2007. And Bob Iger had, already been there. And then, listen, I just think it's fascinating how about a month before COVID hit, all of a sudden, Bob Iger's retiring.
He sold 500,000 shares and he was out. So there's an interesting thing about election year.
500 shares? 500 shares right around when COVID hit and everything, and he's all of a sudden retired. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, I didn't even think of it like that. But yeah, it's like they're really talking about this, and it's like, they're really going ahead getting into the nitty gritty and stuff, because guess what? They're not working for Disney anymore. Also, Gina Carano, she really knows the goods about what's happening in Disney. And also, there's a story that came out from Variety today where stated that, Gina Carano, like Disney is trying to drop the lawsuit dismiss the lawsuit against Gina Carano and stuff because of the fact that they felt that they had the First Amendment right to fire her and everything based on what she said on Twitter, or which is now X. And the fact of the matter is, I don't even think that, that's not even going to stand for Disney and stuff. That's not even going to help them out at all. All right. So that argument, I guarantee, is going to be tossed out the window and stuff. But it depends on the judge. It depends on the kind of judge that they have and stuff. What kind of bias does the judge have? Because guess what? We all know that judges across the U.S. have their own biases. Okay. Even though they're supposed to be going ahead and remain unbiased. But guess what? They're going to still have a bias. Okay. So let's go ahead and get right back into the video.
That was
A
an
lot in
election.
in 2018, like a bunch of CEOs went and they sold their shares and they got out, right? What year did he get out?
That was a month before the pandemic began, so February 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Right. So he obviously they needed to bring him back.
Well, so you think about the timing, and I just don't listen. Disney's ties in China are quite deep,
Yeah.
and so I think he knew what was coming, and and then Chapek had been there for years and years and years, and let's slide him right in.
He was.
Well, this is really interesting because of the fact that this explains a lot. This explains a lot. We all thought that, that Bob Iger, he was trying to go ahead and get further dealings, becoming an ambassador to China or something for the U.S. and the government and all that. But kind of find out he has dealings with China and stuff that's deeper than we expected. Okay, now I might be late to the party and everything, but this is really interesting to me. Something that a lot of people might have forgotten or probably already known and everything. But this is also something pretty interesting. We now see that Bob Iger had a motive in retiring at that particular time, right when the pandemic started. Okay, and letting Bob Chapek become CEO and stuff because of the fact that he had a lot of things to hide, and they're revealing it right now. So we're gonna go ahead and keep on watching this too.
Embarrassing.
But what happened behind the scenes was Chapek ever allowed to actually lead? No, because Bob Iger was still there the whole time.
Oh, I didn't know
the
that.
background board, all that. He was never fully out of anything. And
Sage Steele confirmed what we've been saying. Bob Iger never left. Bob Iger never left. Sage Steele confirmed. Excuse me, I'm sorry for being too loud. Sage Steele has confirmed everything that we've been saying about Bob Iger when he was there. When Bob Chapek was still CEO in title only. But guess what? Bob Iger's still been running the show the whole time. The whole time. And Gina Carano didn't even know about it. This is crazy. This is great. We got to go ahead and watch this again.
So you have your guy that's replaced you, but are you actually allowing him
Like
to
whoever's
do
running.
the job?
Yeah.
Who's running it? Because you retire, but we're still over here.
Right.
And influencing and having discussions.
Like whoever's running Biden. Right.
There you
Okay, this is crazy. All right, this is definitely crazy because look, this has been confirmed. All right, it's definitely been confirmed and everything because of the fact that and Gina Carano, it's crazy she didn't know about this, and kind of it seems to me that a lot of actors didn't know about this either, and it's been kept in the dark. But the fact of the matter is that Sage Steele has just confirmed what has been said. Remember, Bob Iger never left. He kept the same office as when he still had that title of CEO. The thing is, he didn't have the title of CEO. He just never left. He also kept the office and everything where he had his own little bathroom and stuff, probably with a golden toilet and everything. And then Bob Chapek still had to keep the office that he was still in. So yeah. Oh, this is juicy. This is juicy. We're going to go ahead and get right back into the video.
So like basically
There's another level. But then there are certainly controversies with Chapek. Chapek did not want to get involved at all in the "don't say gay" in Florida. Those words never in the bill in Florida. He didn't want to get involved. He knew, and from a sports perspective, right? He knew like, guys, let's just keep this separate. And when we get involved in politics, don't we want everybody to watch our Disney products?
Right.
At ESPN, don't you want everybody to watch sports, Republicans and Democrats?
Right.
Like, it's bad business. And I know that Chapek was very much like, let's not do this. And he was told to go and attack Florida and DeSantis and all that stuff. And then that blew up further. You continue on. The pandemic eventually goes away. And more controversy came. I don't think we...
Yo, okay, that also confirmed what we've been saying before too, that Bob Chapek didn't want to get into the whole politicization of the company and stuff, but he was forced to go ahead and speak out against the whole, family rights bill and stuff, and parental rights bill, up down in Florida. And you know what? She right from the horse's mouth, okay, that Bob Chapek, he didn't really have control of the company and stuff. He still had an answer to the board. Bob Iger was the one who had control of the whole company in general, okay. But yeah, it's they also go into details later on in the video and everything about the intense backlash that Gina Carano faced because of her opinions and stuff. And you know what? This is really, really, really interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get right back into the video.
About the lockdowns, you can ask questions about masks, you can ask questions about vaccines, and that would be fine. I don't think you would get fired now. You might get a target on your back, but you might not get like brutally fired.
It's not as bad as it was when I was asking early on too. And yeah.
So, but I was asking it, early.
Mhm.
And that put a huge target on me, and it just sent the whole kind of mob after me. And I liken it to, I think it was in Blade, where it's like one of like these innocent people walk into a club full of, vampires. And like this person who isn't a vampire walks in, and then like at 12 o'clock, all this like blood starts raining, and then they all just attack and they sink their teeth in.
Ugh.
And just start sucking the life out of you. And that is what happened to me. A man last week just took his life. He's a comic book creator, and he just took his life because the mob went after him and accused him of things. Whether he did them or not, it was more about, he said, the internet bullies murdered me. And so it was really important to me when that was all happening to me, that I knew that I knew this like firing was not going to be like oh, let's go to a Daily Wire movie and you're going to be okay. Like, I know the way I feel things very deeply. And, I knew that was going to hang on me for a second. And then it wasn't until this lawsuit that I felt like this weight got lifted off of my shoulders and my chest, and it was like somebody stood up for me. Somebody actually said, I see your case, I see you, I want to defend you, this was injustice, and let's go take them to court. And
So this is where she's starting to talk about Elon Musk that's actually going out and reached out to her through X and stuff to go ahead and pay for all the legal fees to help her fight the lawsuit against this that she's putting up, okay? And the fact of the matter is, like I said earlier today, they reported that the SHREDS putting out there, Variety put out there that Disney's looking to go ahead and dismiss the lawsuit that Gina Carano has against them and everything, okay? Because of the fact that they felt that they had the right to fire her based on the comments that she made on social media and stuff. But in reality, Gina Carano still have those First Amendment rights and stuff. And I don't know if it's going to go through because of the fact that she had freedom of speech, and Disney is not a government body, okay? It's not a government body at all. So let's go and get right back into the video.
decide. And since that moment, I've just felt like I didn't know I needed to do that. I didn't know I needed to stand up for myself that hardcore. I didn't know that the world needed to see that, because now we have phone calls coming in. Now it's like a breath of fresh air. So I've been living in this, like, I didn't realize I was carrying that shame of being fired. Nobody wants to be fired. I didn't want to be fired, I didn't want to have that out there. But now I'm like, it's lifted. And it's pretty awesome.
I have many questions about what you just said. And there's a moment there where I was like, okay, deep breath, Sage, don't cry. Because when you said that, you felt so supported, when it's pretty lonely out there. So hold that thought, because I want to make sure, that's actually the most important part of why I wanted to talk to you, is that part of what's here. But the tweets that you put out, that, or kind of the beginning or part of your cancellation and firing, I wanted to hear from you. I think we all learn and evolve through things. And I have been asked several times, okay, do you wish you had not said this or said this differently? Like, what did you mean, et cetera? And I'm like, no, I meant what I said. Like, I can't control how you receive it. our words do matter. Our tone does matter.
Yeah.
I want people who didn't know, I want to read this tweet from you. And because this is the one that you got killed for this one,
Yeah.
right? February 2021. And it was in reference to, being judged for being yourself and cancel culture, basically. Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write that tweet, first of all? Because I know how careful
Yeah.
you know the impact of words.
Well, I didn't write it. It was a screen capture, and it was posted on a Twitter fleet and on an Instagram fleet. So it was
a screenshot that you didn't even write, but it stood for what you were saying, which is how you're.
It was just for me. It was something that I feel like it went hand in hand with the Auschwitz Museum. Don't hate your neighbor. Kind of. It started with neighbors. Kind of. Tweet. It doesn't just start like all of a sudden somebody pops up a Nazi and then it becomes this trend, Like it starts with propaganda. It starts pre-Nazi. It starts like, hey, we're gonna start picking on these people and we're gonna start demonizing these people. And oh, now these people aren't doing this. And okay, so like I always like thought my whole entire life, like how did we let that happen? How did any human being or group of human being or a whole entire country or world, how would they let that happen to the Jewish people?
Okay. So this is interesting. We're going to have to make a part 2 to this and stuff, but let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. How do you feel about Steele actually confirming what we've been saying about this? Because Steele and Gina Carano, this interview is crazy, okay? It's knocking things out the water. Gina Carano talking about how she's being fired and everything. And then Steele also, I'm going to get into this about in the next video, but Steele also going to talk about how she got fired from ESPN, all based on the fact that because they're all like with their freedom of speech rights were, violated. Okay, they were fired based on the freedom of speech and expression and stuff. So let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Also, include any additional details I didn't touch up on this topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content I put out there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell notification so that way you know notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.